create a matter or a workflow within PolicyBox. And so you can see that we've logged in, we're at the sort of landing screen or the main screen. There's a couple of matters already created in the system that we've got here. And if you've seen how to upload master policies beforehand, you would have seen that the process to get the documents into the system. Now in master policies, I just want to check to make sure that we've got some documents in here. And we do. We've got a base level regulation. We've got a legal and compliance opinion. We're pretty happy with those. And we've got some rules in the system. So we've got ice cream for South Australia test rule and a South Australian employee test rule. We'll have a look at what that's about. So in South Australia, we must give all South Australian employees a literacy test. We'll go back to create a matter. We just go into here at the home screen, and we're going to create a new matter by clicking on create new matter. We'll select the master policy that we want to work with, and that's the one that we just looked at, and it's all about employee onboarding. And now we'll simply generate a matter, create a workflow for a level 5 employee. We won't define whether it's from South Australia or not. We'll see if those rules get picked up along the way. For a level employee that we are onboarding and lay out the pre-screening checks as well. We'll give the client a name. So let's call this one Mary B1. Hit enter, and let's generate that matter and see what it comes up with. I can see they made a spelling error, but in these days of LLMs, they tend to work that out pretty quickly. You can see that the matter's been created. So the AI has been thinking about it now. It's referencing the documents that we uploaded earlier on and that were processed in a format that makes it much safer and more efficient for the AI to read. It's retrieving the policy context around it all, and it'll start to dive into the matter and review it. These can take sometimes 10 seconds, sometimes 15 seconds, sometimes up to a minute to generate a good workflow. You can see that it's already working through the matter steps on this one, so I think it's probably going to take about 30 seconds to roll out a workflow here. Now, sometimes when it returns, it may return not with the workflow straight away. However, the AI assistant might outline how it's thinking and just make sure that you're comfortable with that before proceeding and creating a matter. Okay, it's just setting it up now to be able to display it, and it is generated. Okay, and you can see it's come back with the steps around onboarding and pre-screening an employee at level 5 level. Now, the policy that we have around this has 1 to 7 employees, so this specific level 5 employee and what we need to do around this one. You can see we have a chat assistant on the right-hand side that you can work with to kind of manipulate and manage the policy as you need and the workflows you see fit. It's on the left-hand side, it's given a risk rating of 6 out of 10 for a level 5 employee. All matters that you push through the system of PolicyBox come with a risk rating. You can change and edit that risk rating if you see that the risk should be lower or higher, and you use the risk rating within the services that you use. You can see it explains the risk rating as it works through as well within the chat assistant. Now, it will tell you about the steps that it's created. So in this matter, it's created 7 steps. It's given us some notes around the steps. It'll reference where it got those steps from as well. So you can see that it's given some clauses within the agreements and contracts that it's looked at to be able to make those assessments. And then we can now start to work with this to make sure that we're happy with it. We can see here it's given identity verification, police checks, the elements within all of this. Now we can do some things. So if we wanted to actually break up fit and proper assessment into separate sub-steps, we could do that just by saying, hey, AI, could you please just break it up into separate sub-steps? And it will refresh the matter and do that because you may want to assign steps to specific team members. Um, as we work through this, we can see there's AML governance, compliance and training, onboarding, document retention steps that we have to deal with. And so we can now start to work with this. I might want to add a step into this that's not within our policy or our policy structure. So in this case, I'm going to say, can you please add a step for checking references? We need to referee checks. And so now I've just asked it to update the workflow and it'll start to do that now. It'll go through the same process that it went through beforehand. While it's doing that, I'll just point out a couple of things within the screen. So the sort of working with screen itself, where we're creating the workflow until we're happy with it, has things like the selected master policies. So you can see the policies that you're actually working with. You can see here that now it has added some new steps around referee checks, and that should fall into the workflow steps. Yep, it's down the bottom here, so that's good that that worked well. Now, things that I can do within this screen, I can start to assign steps to other team members. So particularly in an employment context, I might be a business partner or a recruiting manager. But I'm not going to undertake all the steps. I might do some of the screening pieces, but the referee checks, I'd like that to be done by the line manager. So I might find the manager who's within the system and simply assign that step to them to complete. And that's where it starts to turn into a workflow tool, more so than just an AI response. So now we're really happy with this. So we're going to confirm the matter. And we'll confirm the matter because we're happy with it. And now it sets it up as a sort of completed workflow build, and we can start working through the individual elements of that. Now, while I'm working through the individual elements, I might go into identity verification, and you can see here it's now connected to a live identity verification, so I can do a driver's license check. So I could check if I put in the driver's license details of that person, it would actually undertake either a safe harbor or a reasonable check of the driver's license directly with the driver's license sort of verification services. So it'll do a live check of that. We won't do that now. We'll go back. It's got elements like qualification verification, which won't be a connection to an external live data source. But in this area, we might say, do you know what? We have requested verification and we'll save that step. And then maybe we'll come back at a later date and we'll go completed and all verified. And I'll mark that step as complete. And then you'll be able to see that the qualification verification is now complete. Now, if I wanted to add other steps to this, I need to reopen the matter so I can start working with the AI again. And it's as simple as going into the matter and just reopening the matter. And you can see the AI assistance back on now, and we can start to work with that. One thing I will show you, if we go to master policies for the particular policy we're working with, and just say partway through working a policy, our compliance team said we need to add a specific rule. I'll add that rule. We might have a rule around day one gifts. So when we onboard people on day one, we want to make sure that they make sure the new employee is supplied with a water bottle. It could be anything. It could be make sure that we outline a specific fair work policy, or we want to make sure that we outline some, get them to sign a document, but it could be anything. We're just going to update that rule and publish that rule. Okay, so we can see that there's a day one gift rule that's now in the system. I'll go back to home. I will open up pretty much any policy now that has is using that particular policy stream. So I'll go back into Mary V1 because that's what we were working on beforehand, open it up. And you can see that it's detected, sorry, an update to the policy. So it's figured out that there's a new rule that's been added, or potentially legislation's been changed, and we updated that new legislation, or we added some new guidelines. And do we want to update this matter with regard to those changes? And I'll say, yes, I want to update that. Again, it'll go through the same process that it went through beforehand, and it will just do the relevant checks and recreate the matter and recreate the workflow. You can see it's just down here loading the skills instructions, reviewing the policy context, and working through all of that. All right, it's just adding the new matter steps, hopefully setting up that matter metadata so it can provide it to a screen. And now it's refreshing. All right, so it's reviewed it and it's looked at it and it said, okay, there's some new steps that we're going to add that we just saw within the policy context. So we're going to add now day one gift of a water bottle. And so now I'm happy with that it's done that, and I'm going to confirm the matter. And now I can start working through the matter and the workflow. So that's essentially how you create a workflow or a policy. And it really just requires the master policies to be in place. And then it provides a really nice platform that's really easy to use that lays out a workflow that we want to work through. So hopefully you find that really helpful, usable, and a good utility for your organization. And just a reminder that if you want to trial it, we do have the option to sign up to the Explorer module, and that is free to be able to set up the system and be able to trial a matter for free as well. Thank you.